If you were trapped in an abandoned building as a security guard when a deadly virus swirled around the streets of Uruguay, turning people into bloodthirsty zombies, would you know how to survive? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the movie Virus-32 and telling you how the characters could have made better decisions to ultimately survive the movie. Our movie begins as an old lady feeds her birds inside her apartment building, and she calls out to her husband and asks for help. However, seeing as the husband doesn't respond, she goes and checks on him, and he's watching TV. However, as the camera pans, we can see something is going extremely wrong, as the husband has blood all over his face, and he's just crushed another parrot in his hand. We get to see what disease he has later, but for now, the movie transports us to the other side of the city, where we meet our main protagonist. Her name is Iris, and not only is it revealed that she has a husband, she also has a kid as well. Iris tells her husband that she's going to be taking an extra shift as a security guard. I don't know, but security guard kind of reminds me of something from my past. Iris decides that she's going to bring her daughter Tata to work with her. And I don't know about you, but bringing your kid to be a nighttime security guard at a rundown location just doesn't seem like a good idea. On their way out, right before they exit the doorway, a strange man stumbles in and then looks frantically around and then continues running, as if there's something chasing him. I don't know about you, but this would be enough to set up some alarm bells, and I'd at least Google on my phone to see if something is going on. These two just continue walking as if nothing happened. While watching this movie, I just noticed this part being extremely odd. They're supposed to be in a very populated city in Uruguay, and South American countries are known for their population densities at certain cities. I'm just wondering, why the fuck aren't there any other cars or people on this street? This can't be normal, right? After reaching her workplace, she greets a security guard who tells her that all the strange people and abandoned cars were perfectly normal and that the police have already been contacted and there's nothing to worry about. I don't know about you, but that sounds just about as reliable as a stepbro telling the stepsis he's just gonna help pull her out of the dryer and do nothing else.
No, don't do it.
After the duo enter the building, we find that it's actually rather well furnished, and there's actually a radio blaring out alerts about a deadly pandemic in the area. Well, I know that I'm not just plain fucking stupid, because if I heard there's a radio broadcast about a deadly pandemic and I saw a bunch of abandoned cars and people running away from things, chances are I would stay home and at least wear a mask while going out. These people just ignored the warning as if nothing happened. Like, after COVID-19, they should know all what to do. The mom then makes another thick-headed decision that would bite her in the ass later in the movie by bringing her child to a gym all the way on the other side of the compound, giving her a ball and a walkie-talkie and just leaving her there. There's a few problems with this. Number one, this is a creepy, abandoned compound in a third world country. I have no idea how you could leave your child alone and feel safe. Like, all it takes is for one kidnapper to kidnap her and she's sold into sex slavery or organ trafficking. After the mom worked for a while, the power goes out in the entire compound and the kid understandably is very scared. The mom just said she knew what happened and she's going to fix it. Bitch, what a terrible fucking mother. You know the power's gonna go out and you still leave a kid alone across the entire creepy ass compound? On her way to fix the power, the mother finds two men fucking killing each other on the street and a car burning around the corner from that security guard she talked to earlier. She calls the guard and the guard just says everything's gonna be okay. I don't know about you, but I really hope this guard dies in the movie. Lewis then goes and checks the security cameras to make sure that her kid is still inside the gym, which she is. I mean, I don't know where else she would fucking go. However, as she leaves to retrieve the kid, we find that someone has broken into the compound. After running to the gym, Lewis realizes that Tata the kid is now missing, and as she screams and looks for her, she attracts the man who broke in, who starts growling and running across the steps straight towards her. I don't know about you, but if I saw a grown-ass man with blood all over his face running towards me like a middle schooler runs towards the lunch line, chances are I would not stick around and just stand there shouting like Lewis. Lois is able to knock him down with the skateboard and then run upstairs, where she's barely able to close the man off before he reaches her. I don't know about you, but that little flimsy lock certainly doesn't seem like it would do the trick. If I were Lois, I would at least barricade that place off with a little bit of furniture or something. Lois, who then wants help from the security guard who has clearly deemed himself as incompetent, looks outside and to no one's surprise, he's fucking dead.
An ally has been slain.
The lady then takes his time to check the security cameras and she finds her daughter wandering around in a mysterious room. So she calls that room using her phone and she's able to get her daughter to safety by telling her to lock herself in the room using a nearby key. However, seconds later, the zombie that acts a little too much like Joe Biden breaks into the room. Lois decided to simply hide under the desk. If I were her, I probably wouldn't do this, because if the zombie had like an advanced sense of hearing or smell, he'd probably catch her and she would have no chance to run away. Instead, what Lois should have done is run away much earlier and called the daughter from a different room, because there seems to be a phone in every room. Just as the zombie was about to leave, Lois's cat starts running towards her, which obviously attracts the zombie, and the zombie yeets that motherfucker through a window and smashes its head in. But then Lois realizes that that cat probably saved her life, since the zombie went into some sort of hibernative state after killing the cat. Lois decides to back out slowly while observing the zombie. I know according to your 5th grade science class, observation is important, but I don't think you want to be observing things when your only job is to fucking stay alive. Instead, I'd run away from that motherfucker as if my ex-girlfriend was right behind me. After making it to safety, Lois checks the security footage on her phone and finds something in common with all the infected. After they kill someone or some animal or something, they go AFK for 32 seconds. Hence the name Virus-32. Well, that brings me to my first major solution. Simply get a bunch of ants. This movie takes place in South America, so ants are extremely easy to find. Just get a little jar and put 50 to 100 ants inside and throw them at the zombies. After the zombies slap the ants or step on the ants, they'll go into a 32-second cooldown, after which you could just smash their brains in or run past them, depending on what you need to do. Lois obviously doesn't do this, otherwise the movie would be extremely easy and boring. Instead, she walks through a dark locker room, which makes things extremely fun. And she makes it to a pool deck, still completely unarmed, and gets attacked by a zombie. You'd think at this point they'd at least use some scissors or like a kitchen knife, or maybe even a fucking pole to defend yourself. Like, why are you walking around with nothing in your hand? Luckily for her, a random stranger saves her, but she doesn't realize this and she attempts to run away from him. He catches up to her and throws her into the pool. It turns out that he had figured out that the infected can't actually swim, so by hiding in the pool with her, all the infected just jumped in and drowned around them. I thought of a solution where you could just wait in the pool and yell as loud as you can, thus attracting all the zombies, and after they jump in the pool and drown, you could just walk out because there will be no more zombies left. The man introduces himself as Louis, and it turns out that he's here with his pregnant wife, and he wants Iris to come and help deliver their baby. After Louis brings Iris to see his wife, it turns out that his wife Mimi has a little bit of a health condition known as Virus-32. Louis still believes that if he can deliver the baby will be completely healthy. Obviously, Iris isn't so excited with this idea of hauling this pregnant woman all the way across the compound to the medical bay, but because Louis locks the door and tells her that he knows where her daughter is, she doesn't have too much of a choice. So Iris and Louis carry the pregnant wife all the way across the compound. However, on their way there, Iris finds her husband has also made it to the compound. However, he's dying on the floor. As she's talking to him, she attracts all the zombies despite Louis's pleas for her to shut the fuck up. Iris makes it out, however she leaves Louis behind and finds that a zombie is eyeing the pregnant lady's stomach. She's able to distract the zombie just long enough for Louis to escape and take the shot. Luckily, the two are able to make it to the medical room unscathed, and they're able to deliver the baby with no problem. I don't know how it's possible, but yeah, they did it. Louis really wants the baby to touch the mother one last time, so he gives the mother a pigeon, lets her kill it, and then gives the baby to the mother for 32 seconds. However, at the very end, the power goes out, and they come to find Mimi holding the baby, deciding whether or not she wants to kill it. And I guess the virus lives a little bit of human inside of you, because she's not killing the baby right away. Unfortunately, Louis had to make the hard decision and shot Mimi in the head. Louis, in despair, tells Iris exactly where her daughter is, but when Iris goes to look, she only finds her daughter's backpack and a little girl burning inside the furnace, so she's about to kill herself. However, she hears a little girl's voice coming from another room, and it turns out some other girl somehow got burned in the furnace because she finds her daughter unharmed. The two decide to make a run for it, and they send a bunch of rats out to distract the zombies and give them 32 seconds each, sort of like the ant strategy I described earlier. However, what I don't understand is why they're walking slowly through the zombies. You only have 32 seconds, so just run for it. The two take so long that the zombies are right on their tail, and they're barely able to make it out of the compound after breaking through an ambulance, where they get into a car and presumably drive off. However, when the zombies reveal the cover, it turns out that they hadn't gotten in the car at all. Instead, Instead, they went through the storm drain right underneath them. Here, they find Lewis, who tells them that he's about to die, and they need to take their baby to a nearby boat. He gives them the keys and tells them since zombies can't swim, it'll be the safest place. Interestingly enough, it turns out that Joe Biden zombie from the early part of the movie was watching them on the security camera, so the zombies are at least a little bit intelligent, and he follows them into the storm drain. Now before I talk about the ending, let's get a word in from today's video sponsor. I want to give a huge thank you to Lapao and their new Z1 Gemu monitor. It's a portable monitor that works for almost anyone, whether you're a student or a gamer. So basically how this portable monitor works is I have my main computer as I'm editing this video, and then I'll have a second monitor I could use to do other things, such as look up images, watch other YouTube videos, or even listen to music. The new Lapao monitor also comes with its own protective case that acts as a stand, and I think that was a really awesome addition that was extremely thoughtful of them. As you can see, the Lapao monitor offers a premium experience, whether you're a gamer or a student on the go. So if you want to get one of your own for a cheap and affordable price, make sure to check out the link in the description. Now let's get back to the video. The daughter, who's been completely useless throughout the entire movie, is able to defeat the zombie after the zombie beats the shit out of her mom, but I guess they both survived. Iris, the daughter, and the baby all make it out of the storm drain alive. However, something weird happens. Towards the end of the movie, the zombies that had quote-unquote drowned in the pool suddenly wake up, showing it how hopeless it is, and probably they're not going to survive even if they make it to the boat. Because just take a look at what the city is going to look like, and imagine meeting an entire city of those zombies. These people are probably not making it. Unless they have ants, of course. That's it. That's how you could beat the sleep zombies from Virus-32. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button and leave a comment on whether or not you think you would survive. That's it from me, Andrew from Obsessive Films, signing out.